there. I thought I'd start it off as an anime. And I mean, it kind of looks kind of cool. Or we could go over to a baby, and I don't want to freak out anybody as a baby. I kind of don't have a neck as a little baby, but what do you guys think? No? All right, well, that's me. I can get started. Let's go. So there are a lot of changes going on right now in the real estate world, and I want to bring you up to speed. I'm not even sure if you think about all of what I'm going to tell you, but I want to put it in perspective for you so you stay abreast as to what's happening. And I'm talking about Compass because they're about to release their stock. That's kind of exciting. You've got Zillow trying to pretty much eat up the whole agent, right? And Redfin, EXP, and Realogy. I want to talk about where they're at, what's happening. The whole world is changing where we're at, and not a lot of us are really talking about how it's going to impact us and what's actually happening. So I want to break it down for you just to give you a better idea of what to expect. So first, I want to break down for you. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what we've got. I want to start off with Compass. So obviously, Compass just released their numbers because they're they filed for an IPO. And thanks, Sal. Thanks for letting me know you love the intro. I'll go back to it in a little bit. But the revenue was at 3.7 billion, and I'll scroll down here so you can see. But 3.7 billion last year, and they still lost 270 million. Now that may look bad to some people, but the deeper you look at this, you start understanding. Once you compare everybody else on the table, you look at it and you're like, whoa, you know what? This actually doesn't look as bad as it seems to look. So I also want to share with you because they allowed us to look inside of Compass as they were filing this IPO, and you look and hear their numbers. So this is their S1. This is what was released to the public, and if you see here, I'm gonna show you over on this side. You can take a look. This is 2020, and in 2020, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. 2020, this is in millions, so obviously that's a billion right there, right? 3.7 billion. And you can see that they still had a loss in parentheses, right? That's their loss. And they've steadily grown over the years. Yeah, they're throwing money at everything and it's sticking. So the idea is for them to start off and have an amazing stock this year. It looks possible. All right. Now, I want to scroll down to page 20 because I went through this and I read all of it just for you. And so I noticed something that the CEO said, and it struck a chord with me because I think all of our companies or all the brokerages out there, they strive to do this. But check out what he said here. I'm going to highlight it. And he says, if we do not innovate and continuously improve and expand our platform to create value for Compass agents and clients, our business could be negatively impacted. And I feel that's the case for all the brokerages, not just Compass. All right. So the thing is, as we dive deeper into this document, you can see that they also purchased contactually for like 20, I think it was 28 million, which was a pretty cheap, by the way. I'm trying to find let me see if I can find it here. Contactually. There we go. So you see that's what 26 million. They purchased it for 26 million in 2019. And I know they're not happy with it because I've heard little birdies have told me out there that they're looking to see what other tech they can pick up, right? That means that they're not happy with contactually. And so they want to pick up other things. They've already picked up a title company and they want to pick up other things to have their tech stack so good that they have different revenue coming in from different angles. And I also want to show you when we get to Zillow, you're going to be like, damn, maybe they're the ones that are innovating, which I personally think they are. I want to put it in perspective for you though. So that's Compass. And they're doing a pretty good job of creating this perception that they're legit. Everybody's got to be just like them. They're innovating. But from what I see, they just have a crap load of money and they're buying everything. And instead of building it out, they're buying it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying there's a difference between true innovation, right, and purchasing. All right, next, I want to show you Realogy. Realogy is the pretty massive one here. And here, this is from Inman. This is Realogy, breaks down its total revenue here. So for 2020, you got 6.2 billion in revenue. Now, I didn't understand what Realogy was. I was like, is Realogy like Better Homes and Gardens, C21, Coldwell Banker? And so in essence, it says the Realogy Brokerage Group. And that's what I had to research. I'm like, who are they? So it's just these four: Coldwell Banker, Commercial, Corcoran, and Sotheby's. That's it. And that's not including the rest of the gang. So when we look at it this way, we try to understand where they're going. And they've done quite a great job of this. And we try to understand, well, where is their revenue coming from? Because their model's a little old school. What's their tech look like? Because all I can see is everybody is doing great this year. And let me show you my face. Everybody's doing great this year and this last year, not because they're awesome, not because you're seeing them do some amazing thing. If you're alive and you're a good real estate agent, guess what happens? You're doing well. So the fact that all these companies are saying they're doing amazing because they did this and that's not true. You've got to put it into perspective and be real. Some of these companies are going to die out 3-4 years from now as Zillow continues to grow, as we have other competitors come in, because then the market starts fixing up and you're like, oh, I got it. We actually have to innovate to grow. So you have to watch out for that. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of other things. One piece that I wanted to show you on Realogy. They also have a commitment to innovate, just like Compass, right? It's innovation in tech. Everybody's going all out and saying, yeah, we're a technology company, we innovate. But do they really? I haven't really seen much innovation in our world. And then you have EXP. Now, EXP has silently been growing. Oh, sorry, not take that back. They haven't silently been growing. They've been growing in your face, and they're telling everybody about their growth, right? I get recruited all the time, and I love Glenn. Glenn's a friend of mine, and I like EXP. I think they're a great company. And the fact that Glenn, had the foresight to purchase Verbella, which is the virtual world, was brilliant. It was a brilliant move because that made him an actual tech company, right? And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And then when nobody's looking, he picks up Success Magazine, which is another vertical there for sales. I'm like, okay, there's something to it. So look, they've got like 45,000 agents, and the important one here is 1.8 billion in revenue. Let me share that with you so you can better appreciate that here. 1.8 billion in revenue is no joke, off of a newer company with 45,000 agents, and they're growing. Now, they're not negative either. They're profitable, right? So now you start looking at it. Wait a second. Compass was negative 270 million, and EXP was positive. What's up, man? I see you. Now that starts putting things in perspective. It's like, okay, what's going on? Now, out of the three companies that I've shown you, Compass and Realogy, which is a conglomerate of those four, and EXP, I think EXP out of these has the edge, right? And I'm not with EXP. I'm with Keller Williams. Just heads up. All right. But I just want to be as truthful as possible here. So now we go down the line. Let's take a look at Douglas Elliman. I used to be with the Douglas Elliman, and I like Douglas Elliman. I think they're a very classy company, and they actually went down a little bit in profit, but they were at 774 million. Let's see if that's here. I'm pretty sure I got the right one. But yeah, here it is. 774 million in revenue. And you see that it's a little bit down from 2019. Now, when we look at their tech stack, you wouldn't know this, and not a lot of people know Douglas Elliman, but they've got a pretty good tech stack on the back end and really good data. And remember, they cover the luxury world. So I think with them, if we dive into Douglas Elliman, if you don't know who they are, this is their website. They have these great reports, these market reports, and this wealth report. I would highly recommend, this is kind of sidetracking, but I would highly recommend you take a look at their wealth report. It comes out every year, and it highlights the high net worth individuals if you're in luxury. A great report. Anyways, this just came out last week. But look, going back to Douglas Elliman, they do have pretty good tech. I like it, and I've been more surprised by their tech than by Realogy's tech, to tell you the truth. So that's just the truth. Now let's go into Redfin, one of our favorites here. I know Redfin comes into play a lot, and nobody really understands what it is that they were doing when they bought RentPath. But let's take a look at their revenue. Their revenue is 886 million here as I scroll down right there. Here. Now you can see 886.1 million, right? And it says while net losses dropped to 18.5 million from 80 million. That's impressive, right? All of a sudden it's looking good. And they're like, you know what? While nobody's looking, let's pick up a RentPath. But why? Why RentPath, right? You ask, well, it's part of the whole tech stack. They actually want to own technology. They're going along the same paths as Zillow. They're going along the same paths as CoStar, and they're going along the same paths as what you're seeing with Compass. And while nobody's paying attention, they're trying to create a one-stop shop. From the moment you start thinking about renting to the moment you purchase and continue to close. I'm going to show you something when I get to Zillow here, but this is important. I think we start looking at a Redfin and you start thinking, well, what's next for Redfin? What else can they pick up? And I think as we start making money, as they start making more money, they're going to start picking up some more companies. So hold on. Somebody says, can we break it down to sources of revenue? You know what? There are a lot of, I could be here for like 2 hours, whoever asked that one, but I'm going to break it down on Zillow only because I had that one open. But you could definitely go and take a look at GeekWire, and they have that information here. So now let's take a look at Zillow. It's my favorite one to break down because I think out of all of the brokerages, and you know what, let me show my face here. Out of all the brokerages out there, I think Zillow is just ahead of everybody. When I look at the breakdown of what they're doing, they're just slightly ahead, and they're pushing and they're pushing, and they want to get rid of the agent, even though they're a brokerage. They want to replace the real estate agent, right? And I think the sooner we understand that, the sooner we can differentiate ourselves and then stand out, right? But the individual agent as we know them will be different 5 years from now. So let's take a look here at Zillow. As we go in, they also reported the revenue, and they're at 3.3 billion, right? So I'm going to take a look at here. Here's what you were asking for. Whoever asked for that sources of breakdown, let's take a look at 2020. Okay, we've got 3-month ended, and here the year ended, right? So here we go. If we break it down, there's the 3.3 billion, right? And then we start breaking it down as to where they're getting their money from. And this to me was super awesome, okay? Because you start identifying where they're making their money from. And it's from agents. Half of it is from Zillow Premier, but people just don't freaking get it. All right, so here we go. We're going to see here, and you can see here at the bottom, it says IMT. Segment revenue includes revenue generated by rentals, new construction, and display advertising, right? That's what IMT means. Other home segments, revenue related to revenue, blah, 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 crap. That's not the important one. I wanted to show you here. IMT, there you go, right there is, you go 2020, this year ended 1.4 billion, right? And then you have the total home segment. So it's just we're funding our own demise. And the fact that they give us these numbers is crazy to be able to see them and be like, oh, okay, I got it. So we're really paying Zillow to destroy the real estate agent and to become the brokerage of the future. Because you start looking at what they're doing, yeah, they're paving the way. What else are they doing? They're actually purchasing homes and selling them. They're creating a title industry as well. They're trying to take a hold of that, and insurance and mortgages, everything. And you think, well, why can't like Realogy do that? And Compass, you're starting to see they picked up a title company. Why can't our real estate brokerages do that? Why do we have to watch Zillow do this? I'm just asking, because once I see all these numbers and I see what they're doing in the breakdown, I'm like, what's stopping our brokerages from doing that? Is it that they're segmented and Zillow is corporate owned, right? Well, Compass is corporate owned. It looks like they're heading that way. And so I'm just thinking out loud here with you. There's an opportunity for our brokerages to start thinking like Zillow and beat them at their own game and then get ahead. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Because then let me show you where Remax is at here. And Remax, I was surprised at Remax, okay? Remax is at 226 million. That was it. And I was really surprised at that revenue. I was shocked actually. I was like, whoa, I expected them to be a lot higher, right? I didn't know that they only had that revenue, that it was so low. And I was trying to find Berkshire Hathaway's, which is this one, Home Services of America. For those of you who don't know, Berkshire Hathaway owns a ton of brokerages, different companies, but not just Berkshire Hathaway. They also own Long and Foster's, who were everywhere in the East Coast when I went there, and all these other ones. So they're pretty massive too. I don't have their numbers, and I don't have Keller Williams numbers, but I have seen the tech stack for Berkshire Hathaway for their home services. It's pretty good, and I've also seen Keller Williams, obviously, because I'm Keller, right? This is the back end of command right here. It's pretty decent. So I want to put it in perspective for you so you understand where our world is, because there's going to be a massive change happening. You've got a ton of money being made in real estate right now. And all of these companies are like, oh, I'm for sale, buy me, buy me. And these companies with money, Zillow, CoStar, Redfin, Compass, EXP, and other companies are going to start picking up other companies. It's going to change the world that we live in, and we don't know how yet, right? So look at Top Producer. It just sold for like 28 million or so. Top Producer was made in 1982. It sold for 28 million to Constellation. That's where all the companies get bought out and go to die. Market leader. And they I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Top Producer and 5 Street. But it looks like Realtor.com is always behind. They're trying to catch up to Zillow, and they never have. I don't think they ever will, unless they change all the executives. But the fact that they sold that out looks like they're leaning out. It might even be that they're looking to be sold. And if they're on the selling block, if CoStar comes in and purchases them, CoStar, look them up, then they compete against Zillow, and now we have a bigger problem, right? But my question is, why can't a real estate company like Realogy or a Compass come in and purchase companies like that? Why do we have to wait until the tech world comes in and tries to then destroy our world, right? I'm just trying to make you aware of what's happening. So as you start seeing all of this, I want you to see the world changing that we're in. And there's one thing that, regardless of what happens, nobody can take away from us. And that's the human aspect of this, humanity, right? This is where we win, regardless of what technology is out there, regardless of who or what comes in and tries to destroy us, Redfin, Zillow, whoever it is, Open Door, CoStar, I don't care who it is, Amazon. There's always going to be this human aspect to what we do that nobody can take away. And the more we focus on that in our niches, the stronger we get, right? Where we win is in our niches. We don't win by trying to be everywhere at the same time. So I need you to start paying attention to what's happening. Look, Compass's stock looks pretty good if it comes out like that. As I compared the numbers, I hadn't done that before, and I was like, oh, actually, damn, they're pretty good. And compared to Realogy, and they're buying up some tech, this looks pretty good, right? I mean, they're negative 270 million, but it looks like they're heading in the right direction. Right? I'm Keller Williams, and I own EXP stock, right? I'm all for the agent as a whole. So am I going to buy Compass stock? Probably, but just pay attention to what's happening. I don't want you to be left behind, and I want you to truly understand what our world is right now and where it's heading. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. You know how to reach me, and hope you have an awesome day. Oh, and you know what? Let me change to a little baby. Oh, was that a baby here? Here. I know it's a little freaky, but I'm a little baby. And I like this one too. The anime one. I really dig the anime one. I was doing that earlier. Anyway, thanks everybody. It's kind of freaky.